So I'm with Brian from Dialtune, and I don't do a lot of on-the-floor videos at NAMM because I find them to be kind of a waste of time, nobody watches, but this is really super fucking cool. Everybody says, hey, what's the coolest thing you've seen at NAMM so far? It's got to be this. Somebody's figured out a way to make drums easy to tune and make it so simple that even drummers can get it. Finally. How's it going, Brian?
It's good, man. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah. It's this is the Dialtune. This is like a cable system. Let's see if I can get in here. And the whole idea here is you got a dial on one side here, that's your bottom head, and you flip it around. We've got dial for the top head as well.
So this is Dialtune. It's a cable tuning system. Dialtune is different really for two things. First and foremost, it uses a dial to independently tune the top head and a dial to independently tune the bottom head. It's a no compromise snare. In addition to being able to tune on the fly, it also has a quick release hoop. So as you detune the drum, you can easily pop off the hoop, change and swap out a head faster than a guitarist can tune their guitar. So
let's see this. Right. Yeah, that kind of blew me away. I mean, like being in the studio, that's kind of what we need. So let's check this out.
So you got it tuned up, right?
Yep.
So simple. There's a dial over here. I'm using our right. I'm just pulling it down. You kind of hear. Once you pull out all the tension in the system,
yep.
All you have to do is grab these little thumb rings, swap it out, boom, head pops off. You can change out a head. That easy. The cool thing about this is the system is built so that it makes it really easy to use, but also once it's on, it locks in. So easy, just put it right back on, dial the tune, and then boom.
Just crank it back up, let me get a shot of that. Over here, go ahead.
Here's something really neat about this. This uses what we call dynamic tuning. As the drum goes in tune, we're keeping the entire head equal. So even if you think about things, the variables in the system, whether it's the humidity in the air, changes in temperature, I pull it out of a car that's 20 degrees, bring it into a place that's 80 degrees, the pitch might change, but the tuning of the drum will all remain the same because the cable allows for any differences that's going on in the air. So what's really neat about this is we'll hear It's awesome, and of course you can't really hear it in this space, but I brought a tune bot, and we're going to do this live, and we're going to actually see what happens when we have a tune bot tuning this thing, so we'll show you that in a sec. But
cool.
That's Dialtune. It's super simple, easy to use. For the gearing mechanism, we use a worm gear, very similar to a guitar, but far more robust. Too many iterations to speak of how many times it took us to get this thing right.
Yeah, I was going to say, like just looking at this thing, it looks like somebody spent many sleepless nights working on the system because this has been refined. This isn't a prototype. This is ready for the studio. This is ready for the
ready for showtime.
Yeah, it really is. Like, holy shit, you guys really killed it on this.
Yeah. So what's neat about the tuning on a Dialtune snare drum is you actually got a lot more range than you typically would have with a standard snare drum. I'll show you. Not only can you bring it down real low, you can almost get it to where it's just a fat splat. And the reason why is because we're using a cable system and you don't have tension rods, there's not going to be any rattle when you get it below the note. So this drum will actually play lower than a comparable 6.5 by 14 snare drum. Real fat splat. But at the same time, you can tune it up. You can tune it up in real time. And we can take this thing to the moon. Hip-hoppy sound. And when you get to a certain point, it'll just bottom out. It won't go anymore. And we've over-engineered it that way because we don't want you breaking your drum. You're more likely to split your head than you are to break the cable. This is a
that's amazing.
Dyneema cable rated at 400 pounds. It is strong. So right now I'm cranking, right?
Okay. Wow.
Super responsive at every tone. Sounds pretty
Damn!
good. Sounds pretty good.
That's pretty sick. Now, what happens if we take the bottom head up and down?
So if you think about the top head as your big major adjustments, your bottom head is more of the finite tunings, and it helps you bring out some of the overtones. You either want to add overtones, remove overtones. Personally, I like having my bottom head really cranked. Other people like having a more of a symbiotic relationship. So, for example, if I'm going to crank this head down, you're going to hear just ever so slightly. Having a little bit less of that overtone. And actually, let me pull off this drum tech.
Those look pretty cool too.
These are awesome.
I gotta
You
try
don't
those
have
out.
them?
No, I gotta try
I'm
those out.
obsessed with them. So you can
There's
hear
almost no ring going on.
almost no ring because I've really cranked down the bottom. And so what's happening right now is with Dialtune, because the head is even and the bottom head is all even in tune, you can naturally pull out the overtones in a drum. A lot of drummers don't know this. They think, oh, I need the mass off tuning, or I need to have drum tacks or a wallet on it. It's like, if you tune your drum right, you can actually remove overtones. At the same time, let's get some of those overtones back. We're gonna bring this real low.
So there you go. So basically, if you tune the bottom head really low, you're gonna get the ring. If you bring it up, it's gonna take that ring right out.
Think about it like this. When you crank it, in a way, you're kind of choking the head and you're pulling some of that tone out. The less that you have some of that in there, what you're actually doing is you're allowing the heads to vibrate together, and that's where you get that sympathetic ring.
Okay, wow, that makes a lot of sense. Holy crap, learning stuff from a drummer.
But it's a great sound. So the other thing that I really like about this is that I like the fact that I can tune on the fly. Especially in a studio, when you walk in, you can't always be guaranteed that you're going to get the same sound consistently. What's neat about this is, say for example, you have a drum dial or a tune bot, you're able to find that frequency or that pitch really, really quickly because you're like, oh yeah, I remember it was like 173 hertz. Not there yet. Not there yet. Perfect, we're good to go. And then you know you're always going to be in tune. And again, I come back to this whole point on tracking. We've done upbeat iterations on this dial, getting it to the point where as you think about as you're tuning up and down, you're holding the note in tune. And it's guaranteed to like hold it, you know, for 2 to 3 hour session. We've been in the studio with this, we've been tracking with this. Like, it's amazing to see this thing work over time.
All right, thanks Brian for being on the show, really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So there you go, that's the Dialtune. Hopefully these guys are gonna send me one, I can put it to use in the studio, see how it works out, you know, try it in the studio environment instead of, you know, like the drum room at NAMM.
That's right, it'll sound a lot better probably with your microphones in your studio.
Yeah, probably, exactly. And just be able to, you know, sit there and really look at the fine details, exactly what's going on.
Terrifying.
But so far it sounds super cool. This is one of the very few drum things I've gotten really excited about recently. I gotta ask, are there plans for toms?
Yeah, so technically right now we've got a snare, and then take off the head, you got a tom. So we're working on different sizes, working on different materials. Toms are next, we're working on kick drums, we're experimenting with all sorts of stuff.
I mean, yeah, but for me anyway, the worst for me for tuning is floor toms.
Yeah.
It just fucking takes forever. This would definitely take a lot of the fucking around out of it. And for a lot of you guys, you know, who are trying to learn how to record drums, that kind of thing, I always say start with a good source, start with a good sounding drum. One of these probably just kind of shorten that whole learning curve quite a bit, because learning how to tune the drum is a great big part of recording drums.
Right.
So with something like this, it's definitely going to make your life a lot easier. Anyway, thanks so much for being on the show, Brian.
Appreciate the time.